If you've tried those AI headshot generators for profile pictures or YouTube thumbnails, you've probably been pretty disappointed with the results. They're usually expensive and throw you 100 almost identical images in the hopes that just one doesn't look like a creepy version of your unborn twin. I've been filming videos every week now for the past year, and so I needed a constant stream of new content for YouTube thumbnails. So I ended up training a model on my own face, which ended up being way cheaper and way easier than expected. So today I'll show you how you can train a model on your own face for an endless stream of new content. It costs so little, it's basically free, and you don't have to write a single line of code. And also, don't forget to subscribe for more tips like this. Let's jump into the video. So the first thing you need to do is head over to a website called Replicate. Replicate is a service where you can host and run open source models. They have a bunch of models that they've created themselves, and you can fine tune them on either subject or style. In this case, we're going to fine tune a model on a subject, i.e. ourselves. But you can head over to the Explore tab and look at all the different models that they have available. It's not just for fine tuning on your own face. It's for generating images, videos, text, removing backgrounds. Pretty much anything you can imagine that can be done with any kind of AI model can be hosted on Replicate. But in this case, we can look at the models that are created by Replicate themselves. So if you head over to replicate.com/replicate, one of those models is Fast Flux Trainer, and this can be trained on a custom subject. They have another model as well down here called Dream Booth. This again can also be fine-tuned. But for this demo, we're going to check out Fast Flux Trainer. So head over to replicate.com/replicate, click on Fast Flux Trainer here. And this is where you can start training your own model. So first we want to select a destination. So this is where it's going to copy the model to on our own account. You can see I've already created two separate models here, My Face Flux, My Face Flux 2. But for demonstration purposes, we'll create a new one, My Face Flux 3. And then what you're going to want to do is upload a bunch of images of yourself. These are the training images that are going to drastically affect the quality of the output. So if the input is shit, the output is going to be shit as well. There's a bunch of kind of soft rules that you need to follow when uploading training images. The main one is that you need a minimum of 10 images of yourself. Try to make sure that they're at different distances from your face, different angles, different lighting. Try not to upload 10 images that are almost identical. So across the course of the past few days, I've took a bunch of training images of myself. Make sure they're around the same kind of time frame as well, where you've got the same haircut, you don't drastically change in age, because then the output is going to kind of get confused on what you actually look like. So here's a bunch of training images of myself, and we're going to use these on the Flux Trainer. So I've zipped this folder, training images. I'll drag this onto input images here. And then we need a trigger word. This is the word that we can use within prompts to tell it to generate an image of ourselves. So I'll use my own name for the trigger word here. And then the LoRa type, either subject or style. If you want to create a custom trained model on style, you'd select style here. In our case, we'll just leave that subject. In the advanced options, you can change the training steps. We'll just leave this at 1,000, but increasing that number can increase the quality of the output. But as it says, if you don't know what this really does, just leave it. For seed, we don't really care about this. So with all of that input in, let's hit create training. Now, once the training starts, it's then going to use those training images to start fine tuning the weights of the model to be able to produce an output that looks exactly like you. So once the model's trained, which will take just a couple of minutes, we can then hit the button Run Trained Model. So we click this, and then we're presented with a new screen where we can actually type in a prompt, any prompts we can imagine, to generate an image of our own face. If you want yourself to be included in that image, make sure you include the trigger word. So in my case, I chose my own name. So I could say, Warren sat behind a desk in a light, airy office, studio lighting. You can also include reference images. So if there's a certain kind of images you want to recreate with your own face in it, then upload that image here as well. You can also include a mask, change the aspect ratio, the height, the width, the prompt strength, and you can also increase the number of outputs here as well. So in this case, let's just change this to 4, and then we'll press run. So once that's done, you'll get a bunch of different outputs that will look like you. Like this one looks pretty much identical to me. And some of them are not going to look so good. This one's really weird. But the benefit of this is you can just keep regenerating as much as you need, and you can change the prompts to be more specific. Like in this case, I expected that I would have been wearing a t-shirt, but I'm not. So I can just update the prompts. Wearing a t-shirt, and then you can just fire that off again, and that will just regenerate more images. So here are some other prompts that I've put in. Warren sat behind a MacBook Pro looking directly at the camera, dark RGB studio lightning. That was meant to be lighting. Some of these don't look quite right, so obviously you just ignore those ones, but then some, like this one, looks exactly like me. This one, maybe not so much. This one's pretty good as well. And then again, Warren sat behind a desk with a laptop in hand, looking surprised, light, airy, bright home, Apple style office. And again, this output is pretty good. That looks like me, that doesn't, that does as well. That's really similar actually. So this is going to cost you literally a couple of pence every time that you do a run. So you can just keep trying again and again and again. And now you've got an infinite stream of new content that you can use for profile pictures, YouTube thumbnails in my case. And if you want the quality of the output to be more accurate, then upload more training images in different light conditions, different angles, different backgrounds, and just experiment with training different models, running prompts, experiment with the kind of prompts that you can put in as well to get more specific output. And you'll find that this is by far the cheapest way that you can have a constant stream of new content that's consistent on any one particular subject. So let's look at this output as well that we just ran. Warren sat behind a desk in a light, airy office, studio lighting, close up, wearing a t-shirt. It's also got my Gymshark t-shirt in there as well. That looks pretty good. Not too bad. Probably wouldn't use that one. That's okay. That's not great. So we've got 2 there out of 4 as well. So you can see the output is actually pretty consistent. Every time we've run a command, at least 1 or 2 of the images have been pretty accurate. If you found this useful, guys, please click that fat red subscribe button. But to give a rundown, we set up a brand new account on Replicate. We trained the Flux One model on our own face, and now we can create an endless stream of content through the Replicate website. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.